What's happening, y'all? Finally, we gonna get this thing started. The Synagogue of Satan series. What is it? Who was Jesus talking to or talking about? We know who he was talking to. And can we find the answer to these questions in the text itself? I believe we can. So we'll start with the intro. My purpose in writing this is to show from the scriptures what Jesus meant as he addressed the churches in Revelation regarding the synagogue of Satan. On the internet, as you would expect, there are groups who say they aren't sure who they are. The Black Hebrew Israelite cult believes Ashkenazi and Sephardic Jews are the synagogue of Satan. Anton LaVey was the founder of the Church of Satan in the late 60s. Could that be the synagogue of Satan? Now, clearly, we know the answer to that. I'm just joking around. I'm being facetious. I will assert that it isn't all that difficult to understand who Jesus was talking about to the churches of Smyrna and Philadelphia. We actually see who they are being developed in John's gospel. If we recall that it was Jesus who was giving John the revelation, and therefore John is telling us Jesus' own words. Linguistically, he uses the same hyperbole used in John's gospel. In other words, we can identify the way a person speaks. We know who is speaking or who said what based on how they consistently talk. Think of it like this. You know how people love bringing up these Gnostic gospels and stuff like that. When we read the words of Jesus as according to these Gnostic gospels, we know right away, man, Jesus ain't say that. Jesus doesn't even talk like that. Remember how I read the Gospel of read some excerpts out of the Gospel of Thomas? It's like, yeah, we can tell that you're stealing from what the Gospels say Jesus said, and then you're putting a Gnostic twist on it and talking or have Jesus talking in a way that he would have never spoken. Anyways, for those who do not know what hyperbole is, it is the use of exaggerated statements or claims not meant to be taken literally. An example of this is a very well-known verse, Jacob I love, Esau I hated. It was an exaggerated way of saying Jacob, Yahweh chose, Esau, he did not. Yahweh did not literally hate Esau. He simply chose Jacob over Esau, even though Esau was born first. Now, believe it or not, we all use this rhetorical device frequently without even realizing it. Calling something we don't like trash or garbage, even though it may not really be that bad, is hyperbole. If it's something that we like or sounds good, we say, man, that's hot or that's fire. Or watch this, heartburn. When you have heartburn or acid reflux, your heart is not literally on fire, but that burning sensation in the middle of your chest, even though it has nothing to do with your heart, we call that heartburn, right? Anyways, bringing it back to my assertion, I believe the Jews that demanded Jesus' crucifixion were in fact the synagogue of Satan. I will substantiate my assertion by exegeting the exchanges of conversation Jesus had with the chief priests and the scribes. John simply refers to them as the Jews, but we know from the text that he was talking to the Pharisees. There's a strong connection between John's gospel and the book of Revelation. I mean, aside the fact that it's from the same author, you dig? John's gospel is the only one that doesn't contain the Olivet Discourse. Yet, the book of Revelation appears to draw parallels and fulfill what Jesus prophesied in the discourse. The first place we'll look is John chapter 8. So catch y'all in that next vid. Deuces.